This video was supposed to come out 2 weeks ago. It did not, and allow me to explain. I really wanted to make this video a lot earlier, but no. That wasn't going to happen. By the way, before we even jump into today's video, first off, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone that has been joining the Patreon since the last video, because I may have come off pretty hot and bothered given the notion of the lot of stress that I've been kind of dealing with. More specifically, one of the biggest things was trying to get my mental health back in order, as well as trying to get everything organized for how to be an adventurer, and that is still currently in the works. But I do want to thank everyone, and we are currently sitting somewhere close to around $1,200 over on the Patreon. We're not at $1,500 just yet, but with a further push, we will get there. So I want to thank you guys so very much about that. We're going to be talking about Season 4 of Is It Wrong to Try and Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, which I absolutely 100%, without a doubt, the best season ever. My brother in anime Jesus, this was the best fucking season that I have ever seen, because I thought Season 3 was great. No, Season 4, perfect. Perfection. Everything I could have ever possibly needed ever in this season happened in this season. I can't show you the entirety of what was happening within this season because I'm gonna be honest, you guys should go see the season itself. And for a lot of comments that I get, especially for How to Be an Adventurer, is, wow, this is so much better than the actual anime. My motherfuckers in Christ, you are seeing what I want you to see. The things you should be seeing is Season 3 and Season 4, Season 2, mid at best. Season 1...
Why are we still here?
Oh, man.
Just to suffer.
All right, so let's get into the somewhat nitty-gritty details about what has happened in Season 4, because also on top of that, Season 4 is a lot longer than any of the previous seasons because JC staff finally learned how to use their brain cells. This season got 2 cores instead of 1, which means that it was able to actually produce the entirety of the story that has been written by Fujino Mori and all of its nitty-gritty details into the anime, and it is fantastic. They did not skimp out at all, aside from some stuff, but I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of just normal within anime nowadays. First and foremost, this whole season is just totally about an adventure. There is no massive overarching plot aside from Ryu, but as far as everyone should be relatively aware when it comes to Season 4 was specifically about going into the dungeons and getting stuff, and then coming back up until this massive story beat had hit, and then it becomes this struggle to survive. A majority of the time when you watch a lot of these shonen animes, or I don't know, these animes where it feels like that there is no real struggle, where these fights happen and they just talk a lot, where in DanMachi Season 4, that is very much not there. And I can't emphasize this enough. There have been times, especially in Season 4, where I legitimately thought, holy shit, Belle's gonna die. My biggest thing, especially when it came to this season in specific, was every single time Belle struggled to survive, to live, it was this moment where he knew how to grow, how to expand, how to think around, and there were moments where it was purely, genuinely just exciting to see and watch him do something new instead of what we have come to expect of him over the past several seasons. I have noted that there is this overarching theme of struggle and survival, especially within this, but I do want to let you know I will get into a spoiler section towards the end of this video. The 2 main things that I have noticed, especially in this past season, is 1, there is a lot of the sexual undertones or even overtones have been dialed back dramatically, especially within this season. It was already kind of happening by season 3, but in season 4, there was only probably like one big notion where a lot of what young readers would go to expect to read DanMachi for is not there, especially in this season. Other thing that I really do enjoy about this season is, well, it's just really cool. It seems like it has a bigger budget this time, and they spent a lot of time actually making this entire dungeon, this entire season look amazing. There are a few things that I am going to mention is that, of course, especially with JC Staff, they're using 3D animation technology mixed with their 2D animation technology. So you will obviously see some of these things, but there are times where it's just like, I can't tell the difference, where it's not even that bad. It's actually gotten really good. For this story, for the animation, the way that they have actually invested into the story and the way that JC Staff has produced this animation is astounding to me. And those are the two biggest things that have popped out for me, and I really love them both. It's also kind of weird that I am actually happy and excited, especially for this season. And I know I should have made this video a lot earlier. I've been trying to make this video a lot earlier, but like, I just went back to watch it all just in one sitting. And again, I was just taken away by the entirety of the season. I really cannot recommend it enough. My audience, as you guys know, a lot of my jokes have a lot of sexual overtones and undertones, and also some of the theming that has happened throughout the many years. And of course, I have begun to grow with my audience as I have produced a lot of my comedy, especially within the show. I really cannot recommend enough that you guys go and watch the latest season of DanMachi Season 4. I'm not even done. This video is not even done. I'm only a third of the way through. But please, this is the first call to sit there and say, if you just don't want to listen to me do any spoilers, because we will get into spoilers in a minute, go watch the season right now. Stop the video.
Okay, you fucking nerd. Go over here and click on this and whoop, hold up.
I like girls.
Go watch the season right now, then come back and then leave a comment and subscribe and like the video. I hate that I said all those things. That out of the way about all the things that I have personally enjoyed with this past season, I'm gonna hit a couple of negative points, because nothing is ever perfect.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
There are a few things that I kind of wish happened in this season, because a lot of things kind of set up, but because it is already written, especially as per books, there's not much that I could really complain with, especially having read them, but still just seeing it in animation form is amazing.
Let him cook! Let him cook now! Let him cook! I said let him cook!
First thing that I really don't like about the season is, of course, the most obvious bit is that there are lacks of translation from written media to visual media. That happens all the time. It happens with a lot of books that get turned into movies. It happens with books that get turned into animation. More specifically, I started recently reading Howl's Moving Castle. The problem is that story compared to what had been animated is so dramatically different that it makes you kind of wonder why certain directions were taken, but probably often for the better. But there are missing details, especially with this latest season, that was in the books that did not end up in the actual animation. That's a long detail that I don't feel like I really want to get into, but I will note that that is probably one of the biggest problems, especially with this season, and that's about it. But damn it if it wasn't done right, and goddamn, I can only say nice things about this season. Woo, all right. let's get into spoilers. All right, so this is the point of the video where I have to sit here and tell you, hey, get to this timestamp right here if you want to avoid all the spoilers that I'm going to be talking about, especially within this season, because this season is chock full of amazing things that I would really recommend you go and watch right now. All right, we're done? Past spoiler bits? Good. Welcome to my domain. Let's be honest here. When Belle nearly fucking died by the Juggernaut, I fucking lost my shit. Because that is the biggest thing that had happened in this entire season. Had nothing to do with that plant monster evolving and then going up further into the dungeon. That was dick piddly. That was worth fucking nothing, my friends. Oh my goodness. The setup for that, I thought it was going to last a little bit longer. No. The fact that he killed that monster, especially the way that he did, astounding. But the entirety of everything that happened with the Juggernaut, especially within this season, especially with how all this was connected to Ryu, how her entire familia had died, how this fucking thing who has given what I believe still to be one of the most strongest adventurers or ex-adventurers PTSD is astounding to me. Let me make this a massive point. Fujino Omori wanted in every single sentence, in every frame of the animation, in every effort to make Belle shit his fucking pants. And I love that. There was no reason at all to have to go this fucking hard, but he did. He nearly killed his main character. He nearly fucking murdered a majority of the party on several different occasions. Oh, that's also not to mention that the other party, without Belle, without Ryu, with a majority of just a lot of these lower leveled adventurers, even Aisha at some point, managing to fight a two-headed fucking dragon in an environment that is not conducive for fighting. They were running on top of ice and trying to avoid the beams of this dragon. And then it just like, it worked out still, but in the end, even as they had to make a decision, either they go up or they go down. And it's just, it was just insane that we could struggle to go up, but it is easier to just go down and fight our way through. That's also not to say that some extra characters came in. I was not expecting that Anya was going to show up the way she did. She was fantastic, by the way. The lovely ladies from, the lovely group of ladies that came straight from the Hostess of Fertility, just wrecking shit. I just love that. Can't help but love that. I like me some strong ladies. Cat girls, too. I really don't. Oh, it's not even that. It's not even that. It's just like the progression of the struggle to survive. Because here's the thing. It all starts with Ryu's old, like, arch nemesis from the evilest familia, and basically he just sets things up to blow up a majority of many, I think one of the big floors, especially within the dungeon, and because of that, it summons the Juggernaut, and the Juggernaut just starts killing people. And then when Belle goes to fight it, he is struggling to survive. He barely escapes with his life as his fucking arm gets cut off and his neck snapped. And then he falls into the water where a mermaid revives him. Oh yeah, there's a mermaid in this. One of the Xenos monsters is a mermaid, which healed him, brought him back to life from the brink of death, and then he leapt back out of the water and kept fighting. There's no reason for the season to go as hard as it does. I'm not even done, as the other party managing to defeat this two-headed dragon and go further deeper within the dungeon, there's at a point where Welf has to make a decision to take some of the metal that he just recently gotten from the dungeon and then forge a magic sword that doesn't run out. And as he's just sitting there struggling to smith away, the entirety of the party is just fighting off monsters from every which direction just so that way he could finish his fucking art project. Which he does, and then the magic weapon just blows everything up. I fucking love that. It's the struggle to survive. Oh, and we're gonna get towards the end here because I really want to wrap up the whole section where I'm just super excited. But there is at the end where Belle and Ryu are fighting the Juggernaut, and the Juggernaut is basically eating monsters to evolve itself so that way it can become more stronger in order to hunt these two down. Meanwhile, these two are stuck on a floor which is full of the most dangerous monsters in the entire dungeon. And it's just like, there are points where it just, you feel them giving up. You feel Belle and Ryu just wanting to give up, and they don't. And then they fight the Juggernaut through all of this and are found by the other party in the White Palace, and just, oh my god, I cannot believe that he survived, that they all survived. And there is this entire thing at the end where I feel like, yes, it was a little gratuitous, but I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of well deserved after that much struggle, after that much conflict. And I feel like the little bits of happiness that we could grab onto the show is finally at the apex of what the story is about. And now it's just this massive setup for what is going to be the next season, which I hope, I pray, I really do, that the next season is just as long as this season, because holy crap, this story has only gotten better throughout the years. My friends, season 4 of DanMachi is probably one of the best seasons out of the past several years. And especially considering the fact that the last season, or this last season, had gone over not just into last year, but this year, the legitimate anime season was made all the better with DanMachi season 4, especially with it running 2 cours. And honestly, there are so many other animes out there that I am also watching at the same time. But I feel like for this channel, this one that had built its name out of DanMachi deserves being noted and being talked about, because there are very few times where I get to do this. I get to do this once every few years, and it's just super happy and exciting, and I love this story. I continue to love this story, and I really do hope that you guys go out of your way to please watch season 4. When I sit here and I make a video talking about, is it good? Of course it's good. That's the whole point of why I'm talking about it, because if it wasn't good, then I wouldn't talk about it, you know? So I'm super excited to say that if you have a good amount of time on your hands very soon, please go and watch season 4 of Is It Wrong to Try and Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? 24 episodes of absolute beauty and bliss. It's really good writing and animation. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, please come back for the next video very, very soon. I hope you I hope you tell me what you like about season 4, or what you hope to expect from season 4 down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and then also, on top of that, don't forget to take a stop by over by the Patreon. We're near $1,500. We are sitting around $1,200 right now, so if we get close to $1,500, or if we manage to finally achieve $1,500, I might do another video, and we'll be talking about something else in particular that I am super excited for. It might have something to do with fate. Who knows? All right. Well, that being said, thank you all so very much. Love you all so very much. See you all in the next video. Have a good day. Bye-bye. All right. That's it. One more green screen joke. That's it. Bye.